Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Adventures in the DC Universe, issue number 16. Now as you know, Adventures in the DC Universe was a more DC animated universe take on doing the original continuity of the post-crisis, but it's kind of implied that this version of the DCAU implied that some events happen differently from the DCAU from other shows like Batman the Animated Series, Superman, Just League, and Unlimited. And the cover is meant to have Kyle Rayner and Connor Hawke with their proteges and that. So the story mainly starts off how, Green Arrow and Green Lantern are dealing with drug dealers, and it kind of traces back the story where, Kyle Rayner meets up with his old friend saying, "Hey, Cleveland, it's Kyle Rayner. I know the voice, man. Meet my friend Connor Hawke, visiting out of town." And we kind of show him to the CD, and even mentions about the singer in that, and we see how he introduces him to his nephew, Jamal, who says, "Kyle, Connor, this is Jamal Taylor, my sister's boy. Come for a visit. Jamal's quite an artist, but I'm not much of an audience." And we kind of see him showing him his artwork, and of course, it's meant to bring up the story of how the original Green Arrow and Green Lantern helped out Cleveland. And we see how, he points out how it all happened. But first, gives Jamal money for ice cream and to get some bread and milk. And it all started how, Jamal's older brother, Lewis, basically found out his friend died from an overdose and realised that the drugs that he took were bad. But of course, even though he did try to fight it, it was just him getting more and more into it. And in case you don't know, there was a story in the 1970s that had Roy Harper as a drug addict, and we see how, Green Arrow and Green Lantern try to take out the drug dealer, and we see despite their efforts, Lewis found what remains and tried to sell him off at a nightclub. And we see how, during a whole drug deal, Green Arrow and Green Lantern took them out, and after this, managed to take them out. And after inspecting the nightclub, they found evidence that was in Cleveland's, basically, suitcase. And of course, they try to help him testify in that, but Cleveland wasn't allowed to play professionally ever again, much to his dismay. And we saw how Roy Harper tried to get Lewis back on the straight and narrow, but it was pointless. And his mum did try to get him to kind of leave the family in that. So of course, we see how even they mention why people would take drugs. And there's many reasons. Basically problems, stress, anger, and so many things. And we see how, Lewis meets Jamal but doesn't know who he is, saying, "You're a man who Dreamland, the best I can tell, and that's what I got." And we see how, they basically find out that there's the rival gangs, and this leads to an all-out gang war. And of course, they have to get into costume and that, try to take down the drug dealers and gangs, and we see how they kind of use their sort of lantern rings and bows and arrows to take out anyone they can. And of course, they try and basically escape to little to no avail. And we see how Kyle Rayner makes a giant dragon, and even saying, "Enjoying the view, fellas? I'm afraid my fiery friend may drop you." And of course, they drop their guns, and we see how Jamal gets taken by Lewis, and of course, they try to escape. Jamal lets them know about their presence, and of course, they make it to the abandoned building, and that Kyle Rayner uses a special sonar to pick up where they are, and basically take out the drug dealers and that. But of course, have to deal with what remains of them, and of course holds basically Jamal at gunpoint. So of course they figure out what to do. And after they tell him that Jamal is his brother, it's him realizing that he's just crossed a line. And of course, they mainly to use it to their advantage. And after taking everyone down, this is basically Lewis now seeing that he's now reached his bottom low. And of course, after this, we're letting know that Lewis is now back into prison, hoping it will be fixed this time, and that Jamal will be able to see him, hopefully to work things out. And of course, Jamal gives them going away presents, which is pictures of them as their superhero alter egos. And this is the story. So I think issue 16 is okay-ish. Like, yeah, I think there was an intention for the story to be part of a Green Arrow or Green Lantern series, but it doesn't really feel like it gives a real conclusion to the Roy Harper story. Had it been Roy Harper wanting to help Lewis, maybe it would have been better. But I think it's still readable, so it still deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.